Oh, everything is awesome. Oh, everything is cool when you're part of a team. Oh, everything is awesome when you're living out your dreams.
Audio is definitely picking you up.
Okay,
So
cool.
at least we know that's working.
What's going on, snack fans? Welcome back to the Snack Run Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Hernia, aka Never Lose Hot, aka Konoha Cafe, aka I owe the government a whole lot of money in back taxes. What's going on, brother?
You heard that right, man. It's tax season, and I'm Brady Cardia. And fun fact about me, my taxes are all good and done, so I'm getting that tax return, baby.
Yo, the government was good and done me in the butt.
Man, tax season's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You gotta fill out like a form. You gotta go to your work. You're like, can I get a W-2? It's a lot to handle.
No, 100%. Being an adult this day and age, there's so much going on. You have to change your oil from time to time. Like, that's new. The fuck?
Yeah, it's newish. That's new.
Sometimes you wake up and your plumbing's everywhere.
Isn't that the craziest? Or your plumbing, your power's out. They want to put a new washer and dryer in your units.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Can you guys just keep everything like in range?
And then like you adopt a dog from a shelter from a Mexican family, then you gotta teach it English. Who knew that was a thing?
Here's a question.
Here's an answer.
Do dogs know English? Like, is there a language what all dogs know? Or do you think dogs know how to like understand humans to a point of a degree?
Yeah, let me answer your question with a question. Did you know that dogs over time have like evolved to look like they're smiling to like resemble humans?
To resemble humans or just to like please humans?
I think kind of like to smile at them.
Yeah,
so did that answer your question?
Because I don't think that has anything to do with speech patterns or language or understanding English. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I mean, I like a smiley dog. Who doesn't like a smiley dog? Maybe that's why we like dogs. Maybe that's why we like dogs a little bit more than cats, because cats don't smile.
Do you know what dogs are really cool? The French bulldogs. The French bulldogs, they skateboard. Have you seen those videos?
I think I don't think that breed skateboards. I think that's the breed what people teach. Do you think the dogs come out of the womb like, give me a board? I need to start shredding the gnar.
I think some breeds are like that. You know, I think some people are born to cook. Some people are born to shred the gnar. Some people are born to podcast.
People, not dogs.
Oh.
I think dogs are definitely taught. Like they're not born. They're taught.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. But yeah, okay.
Okay, prove me wrong.
Hey, Brady, real quick, man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Honestly, brother, how's your week been? Like, all overall? Like,
honestly, brother?
You did some golfing, right?
Yeah, we've been pretty good. You know me, my life is very, I don't know, easy, I guess. It's not easy. I make life easy. And that's all about how you perceive the world you're put in. So, like, if you go into the week with, like, a nice positive attitude, everything's going to kind of work out your way, even when stuff doesn't. Like, today, I woke up, my plumbing was everywhere, like, my pipes were all out of line, my inner pipes and my house pipes. So, it was just like, I could have called someone in, but I'm like, you know what, that's going to take time, money, and effort. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to figure out myself. I went down there, you know, it was something I'm not familiar with. I was like, I fixed it. Like, it took a lot of trial and error, but I'm like, you know, I'm gonna try, and like, this is going to save me so much more time and money, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. So me putting that extra effort, like, in, like, I'm like, yeah.
Wait, are you sure it's fixed, though?
Because, it's 100% fixed.
Because, like, what if it busted once you left, and then Max is like, and then he's like trying to text you. He's like, "Come home, something's happening."
It's 100% fixed because so basically what it was the plumbing to my dish sink. I was trying to do dishes. I had a lot of dishes from the weekend, so I was like, I need to do dishes. And I try and do it, and then I noticed water leaking underneath the cabinet. I was like, fuck. So I had a full thing of dishes filled up, and my water's leaking. So I'm like, I can't even attempt to do dishes because the water, what's going down the drain, is just getting on the floor. So I need to figure out. It wasn't something I could just like put on back hold. It was something I needed to figure out soon because I needed to do the dishes. So after fixing it, I was doing the dishes and cleaning for like 4 hours, and it didn't budge. It was good. I twisted all the right knobs and I did all the right things. So like, I think it's pretty good. I'm no plumber.
Hubba.
I'm no plumber. I'm no mechanic. But I was like, shit, man. You know, when something doesn't go your way, you just try until it works.
You say a lot of crazy things right now, but there is one thing that you said that kind of stood out to me, and hopefully you guys resonate at home a little bit. But like sort of like when your life is busy, it's sort of like a perspective thing, you know.
100%.
Like you cling to the times where you get to be yourself, and you get to kind of look at your big old like long list of things to do today as kind of like a more of an adventure, you know. Sometimes, and it's not always gonna be super fun, you know what I mean. But that's life, you know. But yeah.
Do you believe in positive karma?
No.
Kind of positive karma, like when you're positive or you treat people with kindness, that's going to be reflected back onto you somehow, some way. Maybe not immediately, but sooner or later. Because I'm a firm believer that like when you put positivity and love out to the world, you're going to see that reflected back in your life. Maybe not immediately. Sometimes it does work immediately. I actually have a fun story about that. But then sometimes you might have to wait a little bit. But as long as you show the world like love, support, positivity, it's going to be reflected back into your life. But there's also negative karma. When you throw out negativities, you're cussing people out on the street, or you're being mean to a server at a restaurant, or you're doing this or that, or you're just cussing out the world, that's going to reflect back on your life. So yesterday I went golfing, and on the 18th hole, there's a little restaurant once when you finish your last hole. So we went to the restaurant. My buddies, they were putting stuff in the car. I was the one going to the restaurant. The hostess counter was crowded. It's a golfing club. So a bunch of old, white, just mean guys just cussing out the servers like, I need my tables, blah, blah, blah. And the servers like, we don't have tables to give you. You have to wait like an hour or 2 hours. And they were just being so mean and so rude to these hostess. So I went up there, I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. Like, if you have any open tables, any table would work. Doesn't have to be inside, outside. These old guys were being super picky where they were sitting. So I'm like, anything works. Like, any type of help would be much appreciated. Just showing them a lot of kindness. They're like, you know what? I really, appreciate your kind words. I have this back table right here. I'm going to let you. So I cut in front of all those old people. It was like 10 groups of just mean old people. I cut right in front of them, and we were able to get a table in the back.
Good. Those old men, they're not even going to be mad for that long. They'll be dead soon.
Yeah, literally. Literally. Like, I'm a firm believer. You put positivity out in the world, and you're going to get it back sooner or later.
Okay. I don't personally believe that, but
Well, tell me what you believe, man.
It's
a podcast. We're allowed to talk about anything.
I believe in love. I believe in love, and the best way to find love, the way that our parents did it, and the way that our parents' did it. A reality show.
This is a good segment and definitely a good segue from something you don't want to talk about. So let's talk about it, man.
What, life? You don't want to talk about life?
Well, you said you weren't a firm...
I don't believe in manifesting.
You don't believe in manifesting?
No.
So just because you give good out to the world, let's say you give negativity out to the world, you think you should still get the good? I don't
think the world is like anything, really.
Okay.
I mean, I think you could be a dick, and then I think you can go home and something good happens to you.
Okay.
I think you can be a great person to everyone around you, and then the world or like life happens and your car breaks down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that either or can happen, but it kind of goes back to the way that you were looking at it.
Yeah.
It's perspective.
Okay.
And yes, it happens where like you're nice to someone and they're nice to you back. That's just like returning a favor or being kind and sweet to other people in return. And that happens a lot in the workforce and here in your apartment or here like with your family, whatever. Like it's kind of like a scratch your back, you scratch mine. You show me kindness, I show you kindness, kind of thing. That's what that means. And maybe that's what he meant to say. But the term, the new age term of like throwing it out to the world and like, oh, I'm manifesting. Oh, manifesting so hard. Like, oh man, the cringe. Oh, I don't know. I just feel like I more believe in like working hard and being strategic and being lucky.
Yeah. So you putting the positivity out there is not working hard per se. It's just like I hope this happens, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be hopeful that it happens. Just like it's not the hard work you're putting in. You're just like the world's gonna handle it, and this is how it's gonna work. Kind of.
I think it's just more how you look at it.
Okay.
Because you can have a streak of like really horrible luck and then or things that happen to you and then like a streak of like really great things that happen to you.
Yeah.
I've been on both ends, like where it's like, like 3 things happened to me really great the last couple of days, and then I've had like weeks, months, years, even not years, but like streaks of months where it's like I can't catch a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's about counting your blessings and seeing the glass half full.
Yeah, no, like you said, kind of. It's all about perspective. People.
You said it.
Yeah.
I'm quoting you, and you're quoting me.
I'm quoting you, who quoted me, who quoted me, who quoted you, who quoted Jeff.
And then Jesus was telling Jeff to tell us.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all about perspective. I totally appreciate like hearing that.
Right.
Him.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I had a friend. So I'm gonna be super honest with you. I'm a Christian, and I had a friend who was like, I'm manifesting this house in this state with this job, and I'm like, I'll be like, Queen, how about you sit down and read your Bible first, and then we'll talk about manifesting, or like work hard or whatever. So anyway, I'm just trying to think like, you know what, like I don't really believe in like the idea of believing in something so hard until it happens. Like you have to put in some good old elbow grease.
Yeah, I remember in the early 2000s there was that book what came out, The Secret. People were raving about it. You heard about it, right? The Secret
I read
book?
The Outsiders.
Okay, that's not the same thing, but there's a huge book. It was huge in the early 2000s. Everybody was reading. It's called The Secret. It was basically about manifesting stuff. If you think that something's going to happen for so long, it's going to happen eventually. But it's like, there were some parts of that book, and like there's all these documentaries about The Secret. That's what it was called. I don't know who it was written by, but people were raving about it. Like, I remember there's...
R.L. Stein, maybe.
Yeah, could be. But people were like raving about it. It's like, oh, I'll just use The Secret. Like, one of the examples was if a kid wants a blue bike so bad, and if he's really passionate about getting that blue bike, one way or the another, he's gonna get it. It's not just gonna appear into existence, but one way or another, these circumstances are gonna lead to him getting the blue bike.
I agree with that in a way. So this isn't the anime portion just yet, but I was reading a manga and it's called Blue Lock. And I hate to talk about Blue Lock and My Hero every week, but here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Right. Like Region watches a Take 3 series. But these two teams were fighting each other. These two soccer teams were going head to head against each other, and they're equally matched. But one team won over the other one, and the other team that lost, they're like, well, how did we lose? It doesn't make sense. And then the coach explained to them, you guys lost by luck. And it's about creating opportunities where luck are most likely to happen. So with the kid with the blue bike, like maybe he worked hard towards it and still needed transportation, and maybe like all these mathematical things happen where it was most likely outcome that he gets a blue bike. Yeah. And so in a way, you're creating a pocket of luck where it's most likely to happen. It's not guaranteed still, but it's the most likely way to happen. So like in the last 2 seconds of the game, the ball flew up into the air. It was 4v4, and it landed a little bit closer to the opponent's team, and he just kicked into the goal. So basically, it was literally just a stroke of luck, being in the right spot at the right time, creating a pocket of like most potential.
Yeah, like a possibility.
Right.
A pocket of possibility.
The pocket of the highest possibility. But yeah, I didn't know that like creating your own luck was like a thing.
It was like...
Or in that sense, I guess.
Yeah, it was... I don't really know. I never, like, fully read the book, but I remember when I was a kid, there was a lot of adults who, like, loved that book, The Secret. It's like... I don't think people talk about it nowadays, but yeah, it's super weird, and people just... It is basically a form of manifesting before, like, Gen Z kind of took it into their own...
They love their new words, They love the word gaslighting... Gooning?
What's gooning? I've never heard of gooning.
It's sort of like when you hang out with your best pals for a long time.
And you're just goofing off?
Yeah. So you can be like...
Kind of like the Goon Squad.
You know what? Like, we're the Goon Squad, and for 10 hours yesterday, we just gooned it up.
Is that why the Goonies are called the Goonies? Because they were just gooning around?
No, that was actually a sexual term, what they were doing. What we're doing right now, we're gooning the right way.
But the kids in the Goonies who were looking for the treasure... who ran into that one guy who said, "Hey, you guys!"
Hey, you guys!
They were doing something sexual?
Well, they were adults portraying kids, so it's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, every kid in that movie was actually in their 30s.
No way.
The camera adds 10 to 15 pounds. I mean, look at you right now. Look.
Incredibly handsome, like always.
Look at your cock.
Yeah, I know, incredibly handsome.
Damn,
Is that crazy? Like, you can only get so much handsomer the more time goes on. It's just so crazy how that works.
The word of the day, handsomer.
Handsomer.
And gooning.
Handsomer. Adjective. To describe one handsomeness to a degree of infinity.
Handsomer. Thank you for coming up to the Snack Run podcast. Bye-bye.
Ryan, this is the wrong part. We still got like
so earlier in the
podcast,
like I would say about 7 minutes ago, I was like trying my best to segment more naturally, I'd say. into what we were planning to talk about. But you know what? How about you try? Just take us in there. Just kind of just open up the warm tunnel and guide us.
Hey, baby girl. I know you want love, but you can't get love out there. What, you think love just comes naturally? No, it doesn't. You can't get love. Look at you. Look, you think anybody's gonna love that?
I want cake.
I don't know what that is, but that, I don't know if that's how you get love.
I want love.
If you sound like that, you're not getting love. But you know where you do get love?
Homie. I want love. Homie.
Like I said, that's not how you get love.
Homie.
If you are like that, please
kill me.
find a doctor. But you know what's a great way to find love? Reality TV shows.
Reality shows. Whoa, what was that? You're gonna have so much fun editing this one. Yeah, I'm gonna hear it halfway through next week and be like, Ryan, I hate you so much. Like on Wednesday night.
Your audio is just gonna go silent for like 20 minutes.
That's fine. What was I saying? Yeah, so what's been a kind of a topic of suggestion of a discussion lately has just been like love. You know, it's April Fool's Day, just yesterday as I recorded this podcast, and we're just thinking to ourselves, like, you know, like, love is dead. You know, love is a joke. You know what I mean? And so we're kind of going over, like, all the best reality shows and my love life and just thinking about how it's all just hot garbage. And kind of want to talk about our favorite hot garbage. Brady, do you have one by chance?
We have a lot of favorite hot garbage. I don't watch a lot of, like, reality love shows because I kind of look at it. I'm like, how do they get these people?
Because your life is a harem love show.
Exactly. My own life is a love show, so why do I need someone else to live out a different type of love show? But basically,
you get enough of it at home. You have enough serotonin.
Enough serotonin and testosterone.
You have testosterone in buckets. Your balls are bigger than your head.
Buckets. I actually have to get a spare bedroom because how much...
For your balls?
For my balls. I have to get a spare bedroom for my balls. Or they just couldn't...
You got a 3-bedroom apartment.
I gotta get a forklift for my balls when I travel around. I was like, I can't do this without support. I need support.
When you
for my
fly,
balls.
you have like an overhead carrying case for your...
You know those nets what helicopters push down and then they grab the fish with the helicopters?
Yeah.
That's what they use for my balls.
Dude, wow, that's a great description, man. I'm super happy.
Anyway, back to the love finding shows. I don't watch a lot. The only ones I'm familiar with kind of is The Bachelor or Bachelorette, which is ridiculous.
Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love. Oh, that's an old one. Holy shit, I forgot about that one. So The Bachelor and Bachelorette is so bonkers because you get a big group of guys and one girl, or a big group of girls and one guy,
or a bunch of big girls
and one guy, and then they have to date the one guy all together at the same time. It's just so weird. This guy is going on multiple dates with all these girls, and these girls are living together for that time period, and they're all fantasizing about this one guy.
It is really weird. I think that The Bachelorette is the American style harem anime, and if some of my normal friends are still watching this portion, a harem anime is kind of just where maybe 5 or 6 girls will just want one guy in an anime.
I always thought about I wonder if they ever had a Bachelor or Bachelorette where they got a guy who was maybe not the most attractive, and the girls were do I have to still play? Do I have to still continue this game?
Wait, and then if they make it all the way, while dating him, maybe they get a pretty high cash prize for entertaining him. That's so mean, though.
There has to be a cash... I mean, there were some love shows where, if your relationship worked out, you got a cash prize. But if your relationship didn't work out, you didn't get a cash prize.
Are you going to ask me about the craziest dating show that I've heard of?
Yeah, Ryan, well, what about the crazy dating shows you've heard or watched multiple times and talked about unbelievably amount?
So yeah, I'm actually really into dating shows, but I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to quit. I can stop at any time. It's just a phase.
It's not a problem.
I can stop at any time.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
I don't got a cock. You have a cock. So I forgot what it's called, but it's called. Why did I start this sentence like that? They come out in a blind date, but they're dressed as animals.
Ryan, that's being a furry. Wait, are you watching a furry dating show?
Kind of, yeah. But they come out dressed as like either Frankenstein or like a fish or like a bear. And they can be anything. I forgot what it's called.
Wait, time out. Frankenstein's not an animal.
Neither is a fish. It's a mammal.
Fuck, I guess you're right. Go on.
Mammals have live birth. Animals have egg birth.
You're so right. But
Thank you.
Wait.
Right. Okay, so get this. So it's a blind date, basically.
Go on.
Right. And so they're actually two super hot people, usually. And they dress them up as like Shrek, or like a lobster, or like a wolf.
Okay.
And they sit down, they have a great date.
They're not previously furries before they go out.
No, they're like normal people. They're not incels. They're not like
I thought you were watching
trailer
furries.
trash.
Okay.
You thought I was watching like something on Twitter?
Yeah, just some like straight furry dating show.
Yeah.
That's okay, right?
It basically is
I'll support that.
well, they're not actually furries, but they're just like they're dressed like beasts. They're dressed like monsters.
Yeah, so they don't know what they actually
It's Monster High, but for adults.
Okay, I actually think I know what you're talking about. Like
it's pretty popular.
It's a full like makeup crew, and they like make.
Yes,
it's a full makeup crew. They take they take both of the candidates, and they just make them not as ugly as possible, but just unrecognizable. So
real movie style like makeup too.
Yeah, so like when they're doing like this, I guess it's a speed dating or something like that.
No, they're real dates.
Like real dates and stuff like that, but they don't know what they're looking like. So they're really just going off of the personality and their voice and their experience and how they
and their job and their mental stability. Brady, if you were to be on this show, we should really just know the name of it. What kind of animal or monster would you like to be dressed as?
I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I would say probably like a monster or an animal. How about like a werewolf?
Sure.
Yeah. Because werewolf are still like half man type of thing. So like I could
your bottom half is a man.
Yeah.
Like your cock works.
I think that's more of a centaur.
What if your bottom half was the wolf part and you had a tail and a furry little cock?
Wouldn't it be? That's kind of weird. Man. I'm not gonna lie.
But you have a tail though, and you have a human head.
I guess the tail. You're thinking of a centaur. Werewolves are like a combined man and wolf. You're thinking of a centaur, what's half animal and half human. But yeah, I would take my upper half as the human part.
Well, mermaids are upper half human usually, and then lower half.
Well, that's a mermaid. That's not a werewolf. I was talking about werewolves.
So where do you draw the line?
They're just different subcategories. A centaur. You know, you're right, Ryan. You're 100% right. I don't know why.
Everyone, the leading expert on mythical creatures, Brady, give it on up. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
What a fucking cuck.
It's called me a cuck?
Yeah. I learned that word because of you, because you use it a lot.
You don't know what a cuck was?
I didn't, because I don't know.
I called someone a cuck today at the gym.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
It was on Facebook though. I was at the gym.
Oh, I thought you were at the gym and this guy was like pushing his weight, and you're walking by him, you're like, oh, look at that cuck.
You beta male cuck, get out of here. Ugh.
But kind of going back to the dating sphere.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't really know about dating.
Would you go on a dating show?
I think I'm just about there.
Just about there.
Okay.
Do you think you could find true love?
Yes.
Like you could find like part-time love.
Part-time love?
You're not gonna.
Hey, so I'm available weekends, and then on the weekdays, that's my wife's time.
My only thing is, I don't want people up in my like business. Like love is a very like person-to-person type of deal. With like those shows, like everybody who's watching is like all up in your business. They know exactly like what you're going through, what you're looking for,
your insecurities.
Yeah, they're gonna know all that. Like, do you really want to share that to like the other people watching?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna play into the question you just asked me. But there is one of my favorite reality shows, and I've watched a good handful of reality shows over the last year and a half or 2 years. One of my favorite ones is Love Is Blind. A lot of people love that one. In the latest season, or one of the latest seasons, season 3, one of the guys in the early stages, he got rejected by a girl, and then they have the interview room where you talk about your feelings about what just happened. Yeah. This jackwagon started putting like fake tears in his eyes, and the editors had the nerve and like the gall and the balls to keep it in. It was crazy. And then he's like, you guys are gonna show this, right? And you're like, no, you're good, man. And the camera guy's like, no, you're good. We're not gonna show this to anyone. And he's like putting like tears in his eyes. He's like, I've just never been rejected that before. I really loved her.
That's just. I'll let you like finish. Like, I want to hear your answer if you would actually.
But
there's. I mean, I guess I could just say it right now. But just the audacity of, like, some, like, camera crews and producers for those type of shows just to, like, show some of their personal shit.
But
it's just so ridiculous.
Right. I get it. But also, he was being a douchebag, too, for putting in fake tears and pretending he was sad about something.
Here's a little side note. I'm going to be really fast because I want to hear your answer.
Sure.
I don't want to run off.
Sure.
There was this reality TV show called Kid Nation. They basically dropped 40 kids off into a New Mexico desert, and there was a low abandoned town. And they're like, okay, kids, you have to run this town. They're only 8 to 14. It's 40 kids in the middle of the desert.
Brady, that's Children of the Corn. You just described the plot of Children of the Corn.
I've never seen that. No, this is an actual reality show. So it's called Kid Nation. You gotta tell me about that because I'm actually interested. If it's like the same plot.
It's a horror movie. You don't want to.
Oh, it's a horror movie. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck that.
They kill all the adults in town and they just start running it themselves.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, so Kids Nation, they dropped all these kids off in New Mexico, 40 kids. There's one adult who says, hey, these are your tasks, get it done, and then he leaves. And it's like a game show. With the youngest kid he was 8. His name's like John or Johnny or something. He's like having a panic attack because his parents are gone. He's in the middle of the desert and they're doing all this hard labor stuff trying to like get the town running. So he runs off. They lose the kid for a while and he's crying in the corner. So the camera guys and the producer had the audacity to like go up to him and say, hey, can we film you? He's like, yeah. And then like they're filming this crying 8-year-old kid. Like just the audacity just to get like good content.
You know, also like that's failure on 2 ends. That's failure on the parents' end because they obviously had to give consent and sign contracts.
Yeah.
And then 2, like producers, come on, have a heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ratings are gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? But
it only lasted 1 season because they got sued incredibly hard. Like all the kids like got really sick because when you're a fucking kid, you don't know how to like clean or whatever. So like there's kids, no supervision. So they were cleaning their dishes with like just bleach.
I think what?
Yeah, like they're kids. Kids like the youngest was 8, the oldest was only 14. So the average age is 10 to 11. So like they didn't know, like a lot of them were getting food poisoning, bleach poisoning.
Oh my lord!
Like, it lasted like less than 1 season because all the parents were like, they didn't even know, like they knew about it because they had to obviously sign for it, but they didn't know it was gonna be that crazy.
I think they should bring that back, but like a more controlled environment, like maybe like in a warehouse, like a massive warehouse.
It's not a bad premise, like throw a bunch of kids somewhere and see how they operate, but it's also like middle of the fucking Mexico desert.
Maybe don't give them chemicals that can kill them.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit more supervision because it was literally like no supervision. Oh, and there was this one thing where. So they were there for like a while, and they only.
You watched this?
Yeah.
No wonder you hate reality shows. I mean, I would probably be turned off to this too.
This gets worse. There was only one porta potty for 40 kids, so there would be lines. So they interviewed that one kid, Johnny, years later when he became like 21 or something. He said he would end up just going in the desert because there was one porta potty for 40 kids, and the shit would like basically. Go inside him. If he sat down, he was getting other people's shit because it just stacked up as a pile. Is that fucking crazy?
Well, anyway, back to Love is Blind. Oh my god, I didn't want to think about like shit going back inside me, let alone out of me. So, back to your question from a half hour ago. You were like, would you ever do one of these shows?
Would you?
And I think, if I'm just being super honest, and you know what? I'm putting on a brave face here. You know, I'm not the strongest guy ever. I'm not the most confident. Look at me. Look at my man tits.
Okay.
Look. I think I'm thinking about there. I'm thinking about desperate enough to go on there. As a single Christian man in his late 20s, it's harder and harder to find love. It feels like I feel like everyone's already cuffed up already. Like married, happy. I went on my Instagram stories the other day and I scrolled through about 80 people. Literally, like I would say 90% of them were married women. And I'm like, where are all the hot single like mamas? Where are all the hoochie mamas at?
Hoochie mamas.
The hoochie mama. The Gucci mamas.
Do you think there's a percentage of the applicants who are kind of in these shows who don't find love on the show, but they find love after the show because like people are watching them on TV, and maybe there's someone out there like, oh my gosh, I saw you on Love Island. Do you want to go on a date? I actually thought you were really charming and romantic on that show. Like,
oh, like the clout they get from the show.
Yeah, kind of like the clout they get from the show.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
After the fact of like, yeah, it didn't work out on the show, but like, hey, I watched you when you were on the show. Do you want to?
I think it's possible. There's also a show called Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect. Perfect.
Pitch. Perfect pitch. I mean, you're
match perfect pitch perfect match. I think it's called Perfect Match.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I think that's a lot better than Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, with Adam Levine.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Shout out to Adam Levine. He's one of our biggest fans. So on Netflix, they produce a lot of their own like reality shows, and a lot of fan favorites are people who like left single. They go on Perfect Match.
Okay.
And basically, at any given time, there is 7 people in the house at one time, but only 5 rooms. So at the end of every night, you have to get matched up with someone and go to the room, and you're safe for the night, basically. And you guys can like do it or talk all night or make out all night or whatever.
Really?
And then two people get eliminated. And then there's challenges every day, and then the most compatible couple get to choose the next challenge or to bring in new couples, new people. And they're like previous characters and people from Netflix's past reality. I did a lot of this right now, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Just talking with your hands.
Yeah.
That's how you show emotion.
But yeah, perfect match.
Yeah, perfect match. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that was chill.
There was this one reality dating show. I mean, I think it was a reality dating show. Maybe it would have been like a survival show where they just dropped all these people off on the island. They were all naked.
Damn. Brady, you like the ones where people just get dropped off?
No, like, do you remember that? Was that a thing, or am I going delusional?
That was a show called Lost, Brady.
No,
You're
shut up.
Two things mixed up, man.
Shut up, bitch tits. No, it's like where they were just like, they found all these like individuals and they dropped them off on the island.
Naked and Afraid?
Is that it?
I don't know.
No, that's definitely it. That's 100% it, because like, was it a love show or was it like a? Because Naked and Afraid doesn't sound like a love.
I think you can probably find love on any show. So
true. I think a lot of people from like Big Brother and Survivor, they probably.
And also this show called That 70s Show that aired in the early 2000s. 2 of the people on there found love.
They did. They find love together. Ashton Kutcher and the girl who plays Meg from Family Guy.
Mila Kunis. She's one of my celebrity crushes.
She's a good one. Do you like her? Well, what's your favorite work that she's been in?
What's it called? Angry Moms, Dating Moms, Drunk Moms, Mom Wives.
She was basically a mom who was.
Man, I am so bad with words. Here,
okay.
Keep talking.
I like Ashton Kutcher. He's pretty great. He was in No Strings Attached. That was a pretty good one.
And Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah, Cheaper by the Dozen. And he was also in, he replaced Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men for no reason. Well, for actually a good reason, actually. Charlie Sheen, obviously. Well, not the best person out there.
Bad Moms.
Bad Moms. Do you remember what that was about?
Yes, there's 2 of them. And I actually enjoyed the second one better.
Yeah,
so it's a Bad Moms Christmas. And just a bunch of moms get together, and then their moms come in to Christmas for the holidays. And if you thought the moms are pieces of shit, these moms, the grandmas, are bigger pieces of shit. And I cannot suggest this movie enough. It's so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
I show my mom, and then there is like a hair waxing scene that gets way too detailed. I had to kind of leave the room for a little bit. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get some popcorn. Be back in a half hour. Anyway. Bad Moms, great film. Mila Kunis.
You know what Mila Kunis gets a lot on the street? She gets
a lot of what?
You know what she gets a lot on the street? Like when she's walking, what people say to her a lot.
She looks like Audrey Plaza.
Does she?
A little bit.
Cool. What she gets a lot is she'll start talking to fans, and random fans, once when they realize it was her, they would just go, "Shut up, Meg," and walk away. There's an interview where she's like, that's the number one thing she gets on the street. Like people won't even say like, "Oh my god, I'm such a big fan. I loved you in that 70s show." They would just be like, "Shut up, Meg," and they would just like continue walking.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel so bad for this girl. That's just a character she plays.
Yeah, she plays. She had a sci-fi movie with Channing Tatum too that kind of flopped really hard. I can't remember what it was called.
That's probably why you can't remember, because it probably flopped so
You know what? It's called like Jupiter Rising. I just remember it's called Jupiter Rising.
Oh man, hot dog man. I think we discussed a lot about our personal life, our love life.
Wait, there's one more. I'm about to scarf up some hot dogs, but there's one more thing I want to talk about. MILF Islands.
Oh, you love MILF Island, man.
I like the concept of it. The execution scares me.
Because it's MILFs?
Okay, so I'm going to paint a picture for you.
Wait, time out. If you don't know what MILF is, it's a...
Mom I like to fondle and feel.
I was going to say a nicely presented mother who has kids who might be slightly more attractive.
Right, like a well-seasoned woman in her second year of blooming.
It's like a chicken breast, but not with just pepper, lemon pepper.
Yeah. It's like 2 chicken breasts located around below the collarbone.
You know, I don't think that joke landed, but let me hear about MILF Island.
It did for some people. How about?
Anyway, can I please hear about MILF Island?
Okay, so there's 12 guys and there's 12 moms, right?
Okay.
And the moms are like, they're your standard MILF, and they're some of them have really high sexual like energy, and some of them are just kind of like looking for a life partner or whatever, and they're all like fairly attractive. And then in the trailer, all the moms are like lined up and they're looking at like a curtain, and they're like, all right, gang, these are the people you're gonna be dating, have a look. And then the curtain goes up and all you see is the mom's reactions, and they freak out, and they're like, oh hell nah, oh baby player. They're dating each other's sons.
Oh no, that's so weird. That's like that shouldn't be legal. That's so weird.
Yeah, can you imagine watching like 10 episodes or more of that?
But does the each other's sons?
It's sort of like...
But did the sons know that they're getting into it, or the sons like also surprised?
Look at the camera when I say this to you right now.
Okay.
Imagine like if we went on this show and I was dating your mom and you're dating my mom.
I mean, I would be happy for you. Like, my mom's a great lady, but
You better not touch my mom, dude. I'll fuck you. I'll fuck you.
Oh, trust me, man. I'm not trusting you. I'm not touching your mom.
Who put this plan here? What the fuck?
Really?
But yeah. What was your question a second ago?
Just like, does the sons know that they're dating?
Yeah, they said everyone signed up for this shit.
That's fucking
They
great.
probably nominated their own moms.
Oh, that's so true.
Also, it's not called Love Island. I think that was like the prototype name for it. It's called it's called MILF. It's not called MILF Island. It's called MILF Manor.
MILF Manor.
Which,
I think MILF Island would
I like Island better.
You like Island better? I think Manor is a little bit more put together and professional.
Yeah, I like it being more cringe and more like cheesy though.
Oh, true.
Anyway, I was gonna watch it, but then one of my coworkers was like, yeah, like some of the moms were giving their sons advice on how to do sex stuff. And I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah, that's just pushing a little too much boundaries.
I'm pretty comfortable with like my sexuality and who I am and stuff, but I'm not gonna be taking like thrusting and like edging and like gooning advice from someone related to me.
Yeah, that's just like, because it's basically like you're just getting a. It's just I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah,
right.
It's just so
and
weird.
And then my coworker's like, "It's so funny," and I'm like, "Yeah, for you, because you're a woman." And like, what if there was DILF Island, like, and your dad was giving you advice on how to give like the best like back alley blowjob? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna love that.
I think a lot of people who watch those type of shows, it's more for the shock value, like. It's just like entertaining shock. I don't know. It's just because that's not my type of show.
You're like, so taken back right now. Yeah, you're a little flustered.
It's just so weird. Like, why would people like? I question a lot of things. What people
probably watch. For the bag, maybe for the bag.
Yeah.
Do you think?
No, but why would the audience watch it?
Oh, it's sort of the same people. It's sort of for the same reason why people can't look away from a train crash. You know what I mean? Like it's so insane looking that we don't look away sometimes.
Yeah, just you know, you do you guys. If you watch it, you watch it. If you like dressing up as furries and going up on blind dates, go for it. If you like dating your mom's sister's MILF type thing, go for it.
Your mom's sister's MILF, which is actually your mom. And welcome back to Snack Room Podcast, where we kink shame. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're not actually kink shaming.
No, I will. Don't do that. Don't be weird.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy these ads.
Welcome back to the Snack anime portion of the podcast. Thank you so much for coming along. We have a lot of really cool anime stuff to talk about. So,
Ryan, you know, you were gonna say something?
Ryan, what do you have for us?
You know, Brady, I've been getting flooded, shat on, stopped in the streets. They're saying, Ryan, like, have you, like, what's going on in the world of anime? And I'm like, sit down. Sit on my lap, little boy. Let me tell you.
And then the police come up. Get on the ground, you filthy pig!
And the kid turned out to be like a 40-year-old midget. You baited me!
You baited me! You did this to me!
He wanted it! He wanted me to tell him all the greatest anime news!
So what's the best, greatest anime news out there?
So, there I was, a Tuesday morning in my favorite little coffee shop. You might have heard of it, it's called Starbucks. And I read a tweet.
Okay.
I read a tweet. It's called the tweet read the tweet read, new Scott Pilgrim anime coming 2024 Netflix exclusive, and I shit bricks.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so pumped for it. Ryan sent me it, so I didn't see the original post about it. But Ryan, thankfully, I have Ryan to inform me about all the up and coming news when it comes to anime and all that jazz. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. And they literally have the full cast back.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one person missing.
Anna Kendrick, and some of these guys got really big, like Chris Evans,
Brie Larson. They all got
huge.
Michael Cerniff.
Who?
Michael Cerniff.
Oh, of course, Mr. Cerniff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got Michael Cena.
Oh yeah, that's his name. No, you can't laugh at me.
No, that's not his name.
What's his name?
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. To be fair, you forgot 4 names of 4 different shows on the last portion.
What was it? Jimmy Carroll?
Oh yeah, that's it. Well, even just the last part of this podcast, you were trying to tell us about
Bad Moms.
4 different names, and you were like.
Well, I knew Mila Kunis off the top of my head because I have a poster of her above my bed.
She is.
So
pretty,
she's
a pretty good. But they have literally everybody back.
Everyone.
How did they even get Chris Evans back?
I think the love of it. I think Chris Evans. Okay, so I believe as big of a star as he is, he is a person who also enjoys the love of art and the craft because. He had such bad anxiety when he was playing Captain America because he was only known as Captain America. Even though he did 30 movies and other TV shows before Captain America, he became just known as that. And I have felt that way too. When in my own art, I feel like sometimes I become only one kind of artist. And I want to branch out and do something else. So I think that he's a true artist. He's a true actor.
He really enjoys the art of acting, and probably if it's a good script, he's probably down for it. And maybe just he needs a really fun role. I think he had a lot of fun in Knives Out. He had a lot of great fun in that. So maybe this is another opportunity. It's oh my god, I could just have fun with it. And all he's doing is voice acting. When I'm if you're gonna get people back, I think voice acting is probably the easiest way to get them.
Right. And some of these people were a lot more affordable 10, 12 years ago. Michael Cera for sure was more affordable 10, 12 years ago. But Anna Kendrick has gotten a lot bigger since. Brie Larson has done a fart ton of bigger production. Chris Evans, I think, is the biggest star.
He definitely is. You don't get bigger than Captain America.
Right, he's definitely one of the big ones for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. I was a huge fan growing up.
Do you have any expectations for what? Do you think this will just follow where it left off?
You know what? Actually,
do you think it'll follow?
It's a retelling, I think.
You think it'll be a retelling? I don't think that's bad because why would Brie Larson and Captain America, Chris Evans be in it if they weren't gonna retell their story? Because they're kind of gone.
Would you want the story to continue? Because
what else is there?
It ended pretty well.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
He defeated the evil X's.
Yeah, that's so true. I would be down for a retelling, a fully action anime retelling with a little cameo.
Also, I forgot that studio name, but we know their works. It's called Duck Makima, Duck X or something. But the anime studio behind this is I trust them really well. In fact, they produced an incredible work by the title of Devilman Crybaby. You saw that one, right?
Yeah, it's they ran weird. There's that one scene where they're sprinting around the track, and just how they run with their arms flaring.
Yeah.
If I don't see that in my new Scott Pilgrim movie or my new Scott Pilgrim anime, I'm gonna be pissed.
So this anime studio is more about like I guess art form than it is about like regular form. It's more like depictions of like the human form and like art and stuff.
They're really creative with it. So I'm really excited to see. I'm just excited to see what the character models kind of look like.
I agree because the character models in the original comic are more like kind of square out a little bit.
That's why I'm like, is it gonna be just the original artwork or is it gonna be like? I'm super interested. This is probably one of the number one thing I'm most interested in when
it's how it's gonna look.
Yeah, it's how it's gonna look, and just like the whole series as a whole. Like,
because,
how are they gonna go about it?
There's like 3 different art styles going into it. It's like the Duck Studio anime studio that has like their normal like long limb characters. There is the live action element, and then there's also the original comic books element, which is like they're kind of built like Minecraft characters a little bit. They're just kind of more squared off.
I think because the live action kind of brought Scott Pilgrim to like the Earth, I guess, kind of. It wasn't like the first iteration, but it's definitely put it in people's common knowledge of like this is what Scott Pilgrim is. I wonder if the character models are going to be more leaning towards the live action versions rather than the original comic book versions.
You know, that's a good point. I think if they were smart, they would probably just go off of live action because probably more people watch live action versions.
No, they 100% are
the comic
more
book.
familiar. And what's the reason of getting Brie Larson and Chris Evans if they're just going to design them not looking like Brie Larson and Chris Evans?
Right.
So I think it's very interesting. I'm really excited to see.
There's too much speculation right now because all they did was announce it. They didn't do anything else.
What's crazy because I want to know more. Did you ever watch the original like anime shorts that they came out?
Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah, it was super fun. Like because that was in the style of the comic books.
They can do a story of a Scott in high school because there was a one where he had to fight like 100 men for Kim Pine's heart.
Yeah.
You remember that? He had to fight like so many people to like date the redhead?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think, because what, out of those shorts, they only released like 2 or 3. It was mainly promotion. They only aired it on like Cartoon Network and on the web and stuff like that. But it was really cool because it followed very closely.
But apparently he was a rock star, like brawler fighter in high school too. And like, honestly, that'd be fun to watch too. I'd be super down for we call it Scott Pilgrim School Days or whatever.
It might just be like a whole new retelling. Like kind of like what they kind of did was Trigun Stampede, where like like it's like kind of the same characters, but everything's laid out completely different. Right. I would be kind of down for that.
Or what if it's like Scott Pilgrim's story, but it takes place in Japan?
That would be cool. Like kind of Japanize it, Japanize it.
I haven't heard that term yet.
Yeah, right.
You know what? We can more Japanize.
Japanize the shit out of that. But yeah, that's really cool. Do you have a favorite X from the original comic book / movies? I know my favorite X.
Shit.
Don't say my favorite X.
I like the vegan guy and I like the twins.
The twins are really cool. I can't say the twins. I think my favorite X, Matthew Patel.
He is really cool.
The very first, he's just so funny.
He's like a wizard, kind of.
I think it's just his introduction in the movie what makes me like really love Matthew Patel. He's just so quirky.
Me and my fireballs.
He's just like a weird.
Tell him, Maddie.
He's just a weird, quirky like Indian guy who's like just super funny. Yeah. I was like, because like. I felt like the movie had like some like weird elements, but it didn't get weird until Matthew Patel like came on screen.
Right.
I was like, this guy.
He kind of set the tone for.
He set the tone for the whole movie. I was like, what the fuck? This is what the movie is.
Right. And he's like, we're gonna fight. He's like, we're gonna fight. And he's like, you didn't get my email? Like, I skimmed it.
You'll pay for your insolence.
And then he beats him up. He's like, ooh, coins. He's picking up the little coins.
So good. Yeah, I mean, I wish we could tell you guys more about it, but we literally have no information.
They announced it a few days ago, and then all it was like, oh, the original cast is back. And I was like, whoa. And that was it.
I wish, I just want more information. They didn't even get like an SMA like date for it, right?
No, just like 2024.
I think it'll be like...
Let them cook.
Yeah, let them cook.
Yeah,
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
I'm guessing summer 2024. Scott Pilgrim seems like a summer anime.
Yeah, and I'm willing to wait for them for it to be really good. Like, if they're going to knock it out of the fucking park, I want them to knock it out of the fucking park.
Definitely when it comes to animation style, like Scott Pilgrim, you could do so many things with like the animation style, like it because Scott Pilgrim, the comic book and the movie is highly kind of takes a lot of references from video games. So if they could kind of merge video games with the anime style and like include those elements to it,
all the pieces are there for a great series.
I think it's gonna be great. Yeah. So I'm really excited for it. They could even take some elements out of the Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up game. The video
that game was awesome, by the way. Brady, tell me a little bit about the anime you've been watching this week. Cause you walked into my house and I was like butt ass naked making pancakes, and I was like, oh shit, is it 11 already? And you're like, put pants on. I have to tell you about this anime. And I was like, can you wait till the podcast? And you're like, no.
But I did wait for the podcast because I'm a good boy.
And you're a great friend too. You know, you don't hear that enough. I don't think you hear that enough.
Oh.
You know?
Aw. You know, make a little heart.
Ling. Is that a good heart?
They're gonna love this on 4chan.
What? I've even been on 4chan, but now I'm about to be.
Oh, you've never been on 4chan?
I don't think so.
Anyway, I don't want to.
Is that a sex trafficking website?
No, it's just like a more like geeky like website. It's kind of like a Reddit.
Like two straight men make a heart with their hands. Is that what it's gonna look like?
Yeah, it'll probably. Yeah, they're gonna love the shit out of it on 4chan. Think of Reddit just more nerdy and like. I don't know how you're gonna make Reddit more nerdy, but they're gonna fucking love the shit out of it.
I'm on Reddit. I actually like Reddit.
Reddit's fun. Oh, anyway, we get distracted.
Have you heard of Instagram?
Instagram.
No, just keep going.
What's Instagram?
You don't want to know.
I'm curious about this Instagram thing.
It's Mark Zuckerberg's
love child.
He had it with Twitter.
Oh, anyway, so we keep on getting distracted. So sorry about that, guys.
Brady
I know you guys are very interested in what I'm about to say. Anyway, so there's this anime. It came out about winter of 2022, I believe. Maybe even I say spring.
So
of
it's
this
pretty
year.
new.
It's very new. It's called Bocchi the Rock. Kind of going off of my last topic about Scott Pilgrim. I really hope it follows maybe even the same animation style as Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi the Rock is so funny and it's so hilarious, and the animation style really connects with it.
So it's a comedy.
It's a comedy. So let me kind of describe what Bocchi the Rock is. You follow this girl, Bocchi. She struggles with severe social anxiety. She can't even handle being in a room with people she don't know. It's very severe, and she just doesn't know how to like get out there. So when she was younger, she saw a musician on the TV, and she was like, wow, that guy's super outgoing and stuff, and he was also an introvert, so let me try picking up the guitar. So 4 years later, she's been practicing guitar. She's really good at guitar. So she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna put my music out on the web. She put her music out on the web. She records in the closet. She gets 30,000 subscribers like instantly. She's really good at music. Then she's like, I need to put this on elsewhere. I need to tell like real people about it, because like I can only just share so much on like online.
It sounds like a modern day success story.
Yeah. And like I can only put so much out online. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna tell so many people about this. I'm gonna wear my merch on my bag. I'm gonna carry around my guitar. So she's carrying around, she's trying to make people notice, but she's too shy. She won't personally go up to people and talk to them about it. So she's like, you know what, I'm going to walk around the whole school with my guitar. The whole day, she's just sitting there with her guitar, and just a bunch of people are walking past her. But she's too socially awkward to, like, talk to anybody. Besides, this one girl who's trying to start a band, she goes up to her, and basically, she invites her into this band, but she's too scared to, like, even be a part of the band, so whenever she has to play, she gets, like, super stressed. Mm-hmm. It's just a really fun comedy.
Is it slice of life, too?
It's a slice of life, kind of a comedy anime. It's just super funny, because it puts her in these very social situations where she's very social. She has huge social anxiety.
It sounds like a Komi Can Communicate mixed with K-On!
It's exactly that. That's actually the best way to describe it, because the music's really good in it, but she struggles with social anxiety, and like they actually portray it. They demonstrate social anxiety so well, because my wife, she struggles with very severe social anxiety as well. And the things what Bocchi the Rock was doing in this show was exactly what my wife would do. Like there's a scene where she gets a part-time job, and she works with her friends, but she gets there way early, so she doesn't know who's inside the job. So she's staying out on the curb. She's like, okay, in 5 minutes I'll go in. She gets up, she sits back down, she's like, okay, in 10 minutes I'll go in. She sits up, she's about to grab the door, then she just starts walking in circles, because she's scared to go in, because she doesn't know how to like deal with social interactions. Like people with social...
I had something similar that happened to me like just yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different though. So I had to go use the restroom at Barnes & Noble. At the same time, one of the workers did. So I went on in there, and like he goes into the stall, and I go to the thing that's like attached to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes like he goes to take a shit, and I go to take a piss, and then he starts like shitting so loudly, and then I can't pee. I try my best. I was like, you know what, I can't. I'm standing right next to the guy almost, and so I walked out, and I did a few rounds like walking around a little bit, and I came back. He was still in there, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna go to Target. So I walked to Target.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit the same thing, a little bit not, but it sounds interesting. It sounds really interesting.
The
so
best
far.
thing I like about it is like they understand what social anxiety is, because they even make a point like being a loner and having social anxiety is completely different. They introduce this one character who's a loner, so Bochi's like, great, another person who's not good with people. I'll fit perfectly with her, and then it just kind of shows like, oh shit. Loner people are fine with people. They just like to be alone. Social anxiety people, they want people. They just don't know how to communicate with people. So they get super stressed because they really want that relationship, but they don't know how to communicate that.
Right.
But it's just funny, like, basically, whenever Bochi reacts to a situation, it changes the whole animation. So there's like 4, 5, 12 different animation styles in this whole episode where like whenever she's having a panic attack, it changes the animation style to a 3D animation, a cartoon animation, a sketch drawing. There's this one scene where like she plays her guitar for the first time in front of people and they all say, man, you really suck. And she's like, well, that's it for my story. And she rolls the credits like 10 minutes in. She rolls the credits 10 minutes in, and they were like, it's basically like Deadpool. They were like, wait a minute, what are you doing rolling the credits that early in?
Here's gonna be a good TikTok clip. All right, Brady, let me ask you this question real quick. Do you think that Bocchi the Rock handles social anxiety better than Comey can communicate? Yes or no, and then why? Which one's better?
Here's the thing. I don't think you could choose like which one's better. They both kind of display social anxiety. Very similar. It's just there's different levels of social anxiety. But they both kind of struggle with the main central focus of like, I don't know how to get friends, but I really want to get friends. They both really want to get friends.
Maybe two different characters go about different ways.
Yes, like Comey, she wants to get 100 friends, and that's how she's got. She uses the people around her to kind of gain more and more friends. With Bocchi the Rock, she just wants to get known for like her music. She wants to be popular. She wants friends, but her main thing isn't gain a huge group of friends. Her main thing is just getting known for her music. So it's kind of just like different goals and different standards. But the one thing about Bocchi can't communicate, or well, not Bocchi can't communicate. That would be multiverse.
That would be a cool crossover,
right?
Of like the waifus who can't communicate.
Yeah, I think the thing what Bocchi the Rock does the best is it kind of explains like, this is what this type of social anxiety is, and this is how it differs from being super social. This is how it differs from being a loner. This is how it differs. So it kind of shows you like different routes you could be when you have social anxiety. So I think they both handle it very well. I just do like Bocchi the Rock a little bit better because how a little bit more comedic it is and how it just changes the universe.
You laugh pretty hard at Comey as well sometimes.
I do love Comey a lot, but if you kind of think about it like this with any type of anxiety, a panic attack, or even social anxiety, when you have those attacks, your whole world kind of changes. When she's having these social panic attacks, her whole animation changes. Like everybody will be animated the same, but she'll be animated as like a flat Stanley stick figure, and she'll be like deflating while everybody else.
So the animation really lends to the comedy. It really complements the story and the comedy and the writing.
Yeah, and like just
perfect.
How dramatic she is. Like there's just one thing where she puts herself in a super social awkward situation, like a very awkward situation. She's like, well, they're gonna get me on court for this, and it cuts to like everybody in that scene in court. It's like one of those sketch drawings of like the court cases, and like they're basically just like sending her to jail.
It reminds me of Fully Cooley a little bit. How sometimes like they would run out of budget.
Yeah,
they just make little sketches.
Yeah, I think it's so cool when like animation studios could like get really out there with their animation. Just like, oh, okay, it's a comedy anime, but we're just gonna treat it like any other type of animation where it's gonna be our traditional animation. I love it when they get really, out there.
Once again, Brady, you have convinced me to watch this series.
I would say watch 1 or 2 episodes. It's really good. And like even like, I'm pretty out there. I think you're pretty out there to an extent. But like I think everybody struggles with a little bit of social anxiety. So I think anybody could kind of relate to this in any way.
Working at Dutch Bros has helped me a lot with social anxiety, and has helped me form sentences better and be able to have the confidence to talk to anyone. Though I do think that there are still some times that I might overthink a situation and not be able to talk to someone, even though I feel pretty confident usually. Also, like, if someone's in a big group of friends, or a big group in general, and you're by yourself wanting to go talk to them, like, that is always intimidating, you know what I mean? Because, like, if it goes wrong, you're dead in the water, right?
Yes.
And they might attack you, hopefully not, but they might, you know?
Yeah, they might physically attack you.
And it only takes one time, not being physically attacked, it only takes like one time to be shot on by a group of people for you not to want to do that anymore.
But honestly, depending on like how you view it, you could feel physically attacked. Like you might not physically be attacking, but how you like might think of the situation is like that's just as bad as me being punched in the face.
Have you ever been embarrassed in front of a lot of people before?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I think
really? Like what's one significant time in your life that you were so embarrassed from a lot of people, and maybe that kind of caused like a ripple effect to like you like kind of way you go about things.
I think there's this one time. I think due to this one time, it kind of allows me to like make awkward situations as a comedic joke. Like ha ha ha, you know, I embarrassed myself, but it's really
just
funny.
say you shit your pants. Just say you shit yourself.
So worse. I was
worse. You shit someone else's pants.
Worse.
What?
I shit in two people's pants. No, but
they're not gonna see this coming.
There was this one time at a big public pool where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go off a high dive. So there's a bunch of people. There's a girl I really liked, and there's a bunch of people surrounding, all watching me, and I'm like way up there. I was like, okay.
And now that girl is his wife.
No, but I'm glad, you know, she's not. But
she's not.
But basically,
she's a man now.
Basically, I went up to the high dive. Everybody's looking at me. A big group of like 30 to 40 people.
How old were you?
I don't know, 10, 11,
10,
12, 13, something. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just asking. This
so
last week. I don't know.
I dive down. I'm doing a straight dive. I'm like, I'm not just going to jump in the water. I'm going to dive in the water.
Yeah.
I dive in, and I'm like, yes, I did it. And I hit the water, and my swim trunks just go... And I'm just naked. I'm naked in the water. I'm at the bottom of the pool. It's like 12 feet deep because it's a high dive. And I'm naked in the pool. My trunks just float up to the top.
Yes.
And like everybody, and like it's a public pool, so it's not like a dirty pool. Like you can see clearly at the bottom of the pool. So yeah, that was probably embarrassing. But I kind of just played off as a joke, like, this is funny. Like, I mean, remember that time I got naked in the pool?
Yeah, that was the plan.
So yeah,
are you guys impressed yet? Anyone?
So I think that was like definitely one of the situations where like, you know, this is something I'm in, and this is something what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that just happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody struggles with a little social anxiety.
So here's mine. I think I told this story before on the podcast. I'm not sure.
Let me hear.
But my first girlfriend ever, and this is where also I found out that like my thing is like kissing, like I had my first girlfriend ever, and my one of my biggest turn-ons is like kissing, and I didn't know that. You know, obviously when you're first girlfriend ever, you're 12 years old, you're everything's so fresh and so new. My dumbass was wearing basketball shorts, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you know that real stretchy material, you know what I mean? You can kind of just see everything. And so I'm saying bye to my girlfriend. We're both, she's 12, she's 13, I'm 12. And like her mom's over there, her sister's right here, and her sister's boyfriend's right here. And like I'm saying bye, and we start kissing, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
Bro. Definitely got a 12-year-old boner. Like, and then they all started laughing.
They all saw it. It was just, it was out there in broad daylight.
Dude, oh man, dude! Like you saw everything from the base, the girth, the head, like everything. It was horrible.
Yeah, you were just out there in broad daylight.
Dude, I was stacked. I was bricked up on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yo, man, that's pretty embarrassing. But to be fair, you were only 12. You know, your body was changing. And like, also, you can't control that.
If you remember, dude, back when we were young, like, love was so fascinating, so crazy amazing.
Yeah, because, like, we're going through so much. There's so many, like, different hormones, like, coursing through our body. Where, like, we just want to be, like, in a relationship. Or we want to get that first kiss. Or we want to, like, do this or that. It's like, when you're a kid, you can't control that.
I think I told the story on the podcast. I'm not sure. But... what if I cheat on you with a different podcast? Like, how crazy would that be? You just didn't know about the other podcast?
Oh, that'd be fine.
That'd be insane, huh?
I mean, if you want to.
I don't want to do that too. I'm never doing another podcast without you.
I don't know if I can say the same.
We work as a unit. We travel as one.
I mean, there's a lot of people who do multiple podcasts.
That not us. We're together. Always.
I didn't know we're exclusive.
We are exclusive.
How about if I had another YouTube channel with someone else?
I might be a little bit upset.
Really?
Because especially if we take from the time of working on this one.
How about if it's the same time?
Well, I mean, like, are you still gonna be able to upload like at least as much as you can on the shorts? I don't want to talk about this right now.
Are you jealous?
No, I'm not. I'm a little bit jealous.
Are you a jealous type?
I have one friend. I think he knows who he is. I have one friend that when he hangs out with other people, I get a little bit jealous. Not you, someone else. Anyway, back to what I was saying. What was I saying?
You were saying another embarrassing time or something. Or like with love.
Oh! My first girlfriend ever. She held her hand out in a movie theater, and I was sitting next to her, and we were watching that movie about the Rock, not Bochi, but the Rock was playing a tooth fairy, and she
I love that one.
We've been talking for a long time. We've been passing notes back and forth to each other. Obviously, we like each other, right? You know what I mean? Texting each other on our little like flip phone like sidekicks, and I tried holding her hand, and I had so much anxiety about holding her hand that I ran to the bathroom, and my friend followed me. Shout out to Robbie. And I threw up in the bathroom, and he's like, "Bro, you just have to do it, man." He gave me a pep talk in the bathroom. He's like, "Stop being a pussy," and we're like 12. And I went back in there and I held her hand, and we didn't let go of holding each other's hands for like 2 hours.
No, that happens when you're young. I think I did the exact same thing. I was holding this girl I was talking to. We were at like her sister's dance recital at the school or something. Mm-hmm. So we're holding hands for like 3 hours, the entire dance recital, and our hands were so
clammy and sweaty.
So clammy, so
but it was
sweaty.
so fresh and so new. It's like you're my person, you know what I mean?
But it was like literally like once when we let go, it was like it was like they were so sticky. Like I felt like you know that in that first Spider-Man movie where he finally puts his hand on the wall, and you see the like little spider things. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that the second half is about anime?
It was. But I mean, like this is, you know, we talked about our social anxieties and where they spawn from other social anxiety type inducing animes, and so
we did talk about Bochi the Rock. Comey can't communicate. What like the thing is
it? Something else. Oh, we talked about Scott Pilgrim.
But the thing is, Comey can't communicate. Comey is a waifu. Like she's she's a good looking girl. But Bochi's more of a funny type of, it's not like a rom-com.
Gotcha.
Like Comey is more of a rom-com kind of like funny slice of life one. Bochi's more of just a straight comedy. Like there's no romantic elements in it at all.
It's like she's the friend in the group, and Comey's like the love interest in the group.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think they're totally different like shows.
Let me go ahead and pivot to a 180 for a second. I mentioned last week. Sorry, I was like swallowing something. My pride. I mentioned last week about I talked a little bit about summertime rendering, and when I talked about it last week, I was like episode 5, I think.
Yeah.
Now I'm on episode 16 or 17, and I thought twice now that show was gonna end, but it's really, really, really good. It's a seinen. I don't even say that word. Am I saying it right? Seinen. It's a super seinen, and it's like a dark fantasy seinen. And you know, man, it's gotten really, really good. Yeah, it's
That sounds so awesome. Because for me, so you just haven't like scrolled through the episodes. You're like, okay,
no, I haven't.
That's actually really fun because you actually don't know when it ends.
Right.
But
I thought it was gonna end twice.
That's actually really fun because like whenever I start a new one, I kind of look like, okay, it has this many seasons, or okay, it has this many episodes. So like you're kind of just like out there like.
It was just shot in the dark too. I was like, oh, this one looks good, and it was produced by Disney.
You know what's actually really I kind of did something like that too. When I first watched Gurren Lagann, I thought it ended at the first part.
It would have been a good ending too.
Right? But like, so I was like, okay, that's it. And I actually went like a whole year without watching the second part.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know that Simo
was it already out? Was it already
out?
Oh, it was available for you to watch. You didn't watch it?
I didn't know. I was like, because I didn't, like, it was back in the day where you would like go online and you were like.
I still remember what the Drill King said as he died. The Spiral King said as he died. He said that once Earth surpasses 1 million apes, the moon will become Hell's messenger.
crazy.
And then he's like, whenever that time comes, we'll be ready.
Yeah, that was such a good show.
So
I
good.
finished with Simon just like pounding the drill king or whatever the ape king with his like mini
Spyro King.
Yeah, Spyro King with his like mini like Gundam. It was and then he went like the Spyro King like had him by like the throat, and then he just took his key and like put it in his heart.
That last fight was so fucking good. He gets out of his they're like having like a beam struggle, and then like gets out of his machine. He's like, if you want something done right, do it himself. He punches a hole through his machine and grabs a little kid out of it.
Yeah.
Starts punching him. So sick. If you haven't watched
Gurren Lagann,
you gotta
watch
go
Gurren
watch
Lagann.
it.
I actually might rewatch it honestly, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm forgetting about scenes.
So hype, right?
Like when Simon finally, like, after spoiler, when his brother dies, when he finally like gets the balls to like actually fight back, and he's not hiding the first time without Kamina, his brother.
Mm-hmm.
It was so like
right. He's like, my brother's dead, but he's alive right here.
I
remember the quotes, man.
Come on, watch Gurren Lagann. If you're not watching it,
How did that happen? I was talking about summertime rendering.
Because I didn't watch Gurren Lagann all the way through the first time.
Right.
You know, row, fight the power.
You know, I really wish there was more Gurren Lagann. I really do. But they came out with like a manga when they were all in high school together, which is kind of cool.
Did you see the little side stories though? They have like 1 or 2 episodes of the side stories. Not side stories, but like a different universe.
They call it parallel works.
Yeah. That was really cool.
That was cool.
It was mainly just like music videos.
There was one Gurren Lagann parallel works where it showed the Spiral King coming to power. Do you see that one?
I probably have. It's been a couple of years, but I think I have.
There was one where he was just like Simon. Just like Simon, he finds a little robot. He makes it to the moon, basically. He makes it to space.
It's been so long. We're getting old. But
do you know that it's coming up on a 20th year anniversary of that series?
Really?
And like 3 more years.
Do you think they're gonna start doing what they did? I mean, I don't think Trigon Stampede is getting enough push. But
it's over.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's getting enough push. I know, I finished it. I don't think it's getting enough push of like good positivity for them to do that with a bunch of other animes.
Wait, hold on. You finished it?
Yeah, it's super good.
Tell me about it. I saw some clips. I haven't seen.
Have you not finished it?
No, I stopped at episode like 5.
Okay, so there's only 12 episodes. They only have.
Just tell me how. I mean, was it your overall feeling?
Overall feeling. I actually kind of don't want to spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
It's really good. I really like what they did with Wolfwood's character, what they did with Knives, and what they did with Vash.
Did Vash ever change up?
What do you mean change up?
Like we had a theory that like once he gets confidence back, maybe his hair goes up.
Oh yeah, we did have a theory. If you watch a couple literally 1 or 2, like it was podcast 1, episode 1 or episode 2 where we talked about it. I thought Vash was gonna kind of go to his OG like hairstyle. He didn't. But the main thing I liked about this, it builds so much on their backstory. In the OG, there was nothing on their backstory. Like, there was a little bit. There was nothing. It really gave good story when it was kind of talking about the energy plants to them as the characters, Vash and Knives.
I didn't know you were still watching it.
Yeah, no. So, I think it's good. I don't think it's good enough to a point where it beats the original. That's why I don't think there's a lot of people, like, raving about it. I think people raved about it for the first 3 episodes, then they kind of dropped it off. Kind of like.
Do you know what it probably was though? People were probably like waiting to shit on it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then once they saw it was good, they left it alone. You know what I mean?
I think that's really what it is. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I just haven't seen the people shitting on it, or even seen the people praising about it. I actually haven't seen anything on it. Like people are just not talking about it.
I saw a lot of people like getting ready to hate it.
And then they just
stopped. Then they thought like it was good.
Yeah.
And then they probably just stay quiet. You know what? I always say that like, you know, you never praise your fridge for keeping your stuff like cold. Mm-hmm. You never like say, "Hey fridge, thank you so much for kicking ass today, keeping all my eggs and my milk and all my spoils good." And like you don't, because like when it's working and it's great, you don't need to. Yeah. And then when it's shitty, like oh, this fridge is a piece of shit. Like we gotta call a maintenance guy. Like that's when you voice yourself.
Yeah,
that's when you voice yourself.
You're gonna dog on it. But anyway, I would say like if you're a fan of the OG Trigun or you're just interested in the story, watch this new Trigon. Definitely, if you want something a little bit more fast paced, this one's really gonna like get you going. Like it's just action, action, action. The other one, like you're gonna wait 4 to 5 episodes for the action to really even start.
Really?
There's action, but mainly the story to start in the OG one. This one, the story starts like episode 1. And what I like about this is everything connects from episode 1 all the way up until episode 12. Like each character has a role. Like each character, what Vash and Wolfwood defeated from episode 1 all the way from episode 12, they have a role what kind of wraps up in episode 12.
Is there going to be a second season?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it wraps up.
It wraps up pretty seamlessly.
Do you know what wrapped up really well that still got a second season?
What?
Ranking of Kings. Ranking of Kings wrapped up really well, I think last year, right?
Yeah, last year.
Fantastic series. I will say it got kind of convoluted and weird in the middle, but overall, so good. But yeah, they're coming out with a new season. It's called like the Treasure Chest of Courage or something like that.
I think, it's just like something what's not needed. Because I don't think it'll be part of any big plot.
So I hear it's more like side stories of the characters, and I'm wondering if maybe the feedback is really good from the audience. I wonder if there's gonna be even more. Like maybe they're trying to gauge like which character is receiving the most love.
It could be. It could also be like there's that one anime. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. They also have another spin-off where it's the same characters. It's the same main character and everything. It's just called Slime Diaries, where it's just different side stories, kind of like.
And you know what? And that's just it's just another cash grab, another cash grab. But you know what? I'm also okay with it because if you're a big fan, you end up buying that stuff because I'm a big fan of My Hero.
Yes.
I mean that's not a secret. I've bought the team up stories. It's like the side stories of like team up adventures.
I mean, if you have a fandom of fans, they're gonna be interested in anything you push out there because that's what fandoms do. They gravitate towards.
And want more.
They gravitate towards that medium or that like ish. They gravitate niche. Thank you. They gravitate towards that niche and they're like, I love that shit. I'm gonna buy more of that.
Like I would love to see the cast of Hunter x Hunter in a high school setting or like.
Oh, that would be fun.
Or even adults. I mean, I'll take that as if they're adults.
Yeah. Just in like a different like parallel world. Kind of like what they did with Gurren Lagann, the parallel worlds. Like, I would love to see that from, like, a lot of different ones. The closest thing we get that from One Piece is ramen commercials. Where, like...
They look fantastic.
No, they look amazing.
Ramen commercials.
Where I'm, like, low-key, like, can I get that as an anime?
Yeah!
Like, just having, like, a slice of life, like, love triangle in a One Piece story, but in a different parallel universe. Can I get that?
Can I get that, please?
Well, hot dog, man. Hot dog.
Hot ding ding dong dong dong. Come on, dong ding ding dong ding dong dog.
I think, guys,
there was something I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. But you know what? Save it for next time. I had a lot of fun with you today, Brady.
Yeah, I had a lot. We talked about a wide range of different things.
We totally did. Dude, the thumbnail for this one's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
like why is there Love Island? Why is there Starving Children? Why is there Bochi the Rock?
And Mila Kunis?
And Gurren Lagann?
It's going to be like MILFs, and then it's going to be like Gurren Lagann on the other side.
We're going to make the thumbnail, but if you guys think the thumbnail should have been something else, put it down below in the comments. Maybe your guys' thumbnails are a lot better than our thumbnails. We don't put a lot of time and effort into them.
Fuck you! I make the thumbnails, and I work very hard, and I'm very proud of them. I'm not going to lie to you.
But if you guys think you can make better thumbnails...
Sure. If you think you can, go ahead and leave a comment. Also, leave a comment. What's your favorite reality show? And also, what's your favorite social anxiety anime?
Thank you guys for joining us on the Snack Run podcast.
You know, I think there's always a lot of pressure for us to end this like really funny or in a really great like poetic way
for all viewers.
And hey, bro, we have like 55 viewers on our first podcast from like 2 months ago. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. What if we got like really meta with it and be like, no one's even listening anymore. We can say whatever we want.
We really could until we really blow up, and then
Right.
like, our new fans watch all like episode 1 through 200.
Some people do like
I do.
if you get really crazy like with the love of like a popular channel or creator, you might end up watching like the 2015 like videos.
I did that with JonTron just now. Like while I was in the sea, I did it with JonTron.
That's so funny. Well, if you're one of our viewers from the future, hey, what's up, valuable viewers? We love you so much. And yeah, just know that we always, I mean, me personally, we always struggle to end the show.
So we're gonna end it. Bye.
Bye.